Hawkins, and James Watkins.
Just give me a mic check. He's counting 10 for me.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay.
Okay, you're good. Count to 10 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Yes, sir. My name is Dr. James Haney. Okay, so what we'll do, Mr. Hawkins and Mr. Watkins, is to maybe, let's see, you say you've been involved in this for 20-odd years, dealing with Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is child support in Tennessee. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about child support in Tennessee, Mr. James Watkins and Mr. Phil Hawkins. And of course, let me welcome you, Mr. Watkins and Mr. Hawkins, to the show. Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is child support in the state of Tennessee. And we're fortunate to have to talk about child support in the state of Tennessee, Mr. James Watkins and Mr. PHawkins, both individuals who have quite a bit of information in reference to child support in the state of Tennessee. And of course, Mr. Watkins, let's have you and Mr. Hawkins to give us some information in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences. And then after this first segment is over, then we'll be able to get into the second segment dealing with child support in Tennessee. First, let's give you about 2.5 or 3 minutes to talk about your background, your education, and some of your experiences, and after which Mr. Hawkins will do the same.
All right. My name is James Watkins. I'm a 44-year-old male. My background is I'm the president of the Dads Against Destruction. It's a program we try to help dads change their lives around to making better choices and decisions where they're going in life. My background in education, I attended White Creek Comprehensive High School. I left school in 1991. I left from there. I didn't graduate, but I did a few years later, wind up getting my GED. Then after I received my GED, I went on off to college in Flathead Valley Community College. That's in Montana, Kalispell, Montana. So that's my education. And what I did with child support is I've been dealing with child support for over 20 years. I have 2 adult kids, and the situation with that is the way it's been explained to me is I'll be paying child support, the rest of my life due to the way the state has set things up, to where that you're not just only paying child support, but you also paying interest fees and back this and back that, and to where I'm paying more to the state than I'm paying to the child support right now.
And so in a real sense, what you're saying here, Mr. Hawkins, Mr. Watkins, is that the state of Tennessee has some issues dealing with child support that the two of you and Mr. Hawkins will be able to talk about. But first, let's get some information from you, Mr. Hawkins, Phil Hawkins, in reference to your background, education, and what really brought you to us this morning.
Okay, good evening. I'd like to thank you for us being here. I'm Phil Hawkins, the CEO of Dads Against Destruction. What brought us here is that it's time for us to stand up, man up, and get this out. A lot of men don't even want to work no more these days. So we out here now trying to advocate for the men, to get the men back in the household and get the system back. Right now, the system trying to raise our kids, and it can't happen like that.
And so in a real sense, let's since you've been involved with child support in the state of Tennessee for quite a while, let's give our audience some information in reference to what we mean in reality when we say child support in Tennessee, who has to pay it and how much you have to pay it and how long you have to pay it. Let's do it from that perspective.
The way it's set up, from my understanding, it's supposed to be for 18 years until your child turns 18 years old. Then it can go even further because of they're going to college and stuff. I can understand all that, but situations in life happen. Man's job might slow down at different points of the season, to where he's not able to make his whole payment, or he might lose a job, or just things happen. But that doesn't stop child support from running, and as it keeps running, if you miss, it's like a credit. If you miss a payment, if you don't pay your whole full balance, they're gonna charge you a late fee. And this is how I feel about it, because I'm paying late fees every day, all day long, because of I'm just might be slow on getting the payment, makes me slow at work and stuff, and I'm not even making a payment. But it's just a system to where it's like it makes you feel like the state getting more out of it than the child is.
And so, Mr. Hawkins, what we're saying is that when we talk about child support, we're not just talking about a simple kind of thing of buying diapers and baby food and et cetera for a certain time. But I think as Mr. Watkins has indicated, that he has been involved in it for more than 18, 20 odd years. And so, what we're going to do, Mr. Hawkins, is to take this first commercial break. We've got about a half a minute. Okay. And when we come back, we want you to talk about child support in the state of Tennessee by defining what we mean when we talk about child support and the impact that child support is having upon individuals. After when we come back, you give us some statements in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences, and then we'll get into that part of it, and that will allow us to first get a definition. Right. Because I think a large number of folks, when they think about child support, generally think in terms of buying baby bottles and et cetera, and et cetera. But it seems that we're talking about something that lasts 14, 15, 20 years, and I think that that's a different situation. And so when we come back, I feel what we'll do is to allow you to start us off, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. About child support in Tennessee. This is where you start, because you're going to have 4 minutes at least before you turn it over to him. You listen to what he's saying, and anything that you think that you might be able to elaborate upon or whatever, or to expand it or whatever. I'm learning something, because I was of the impression that child support, you know, I know there might be some situations in reference to it, but I didn't know it was a lifelong kind of situation.
A judge told me, he said, you'll be paying child support the rest of your life.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
Is that
program?
What he told me.
Yeah, program where the man can't win.
Well, that's what, if y'all see some problems with the issue of child support and et cetera, we're not talking about something that we're trying to neglect children or whatever, and et cetera. But what we're trying to indicate is that it creates a problem for...
big problem. I'm out now trying to get a bill passed, a law passed, to give men 90 days.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, anytime you're ready. Then. Okay, so we're going to come back and. Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. The topic is child support in Tennessee, and we have with us to talk about child support in Tennessee, Mr. James Watkins and Mr. Phil Hawkins. And so, Mr. Hawkins, let's see if we can get some information from you, because we were unable to get it the last time, from you in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences that led you to us this morning, and then make some statements in reference to child support in Tennessee, and then we'll move to Mr. Watkins and allow him to sort of finish this segment for the morning. Okay.
Well, I came out of Glen Cliff High School, like my buddy here, didn't graduate, went through the system to graduate, get GED, and just got, you know, going through life changes, ups and downs. But we also been in the child support system, like he said, 20, 30 years, where we can't win, you know, and it's time for us to take back our stand on it. We keep falling for everything. We got to stand for something. And this child support thing, it got to be, well, the average man these days don't even want to work a job. You know, they taking half his check, the child at home don't get the money, the state taking all their money, and then you left with $100, $200 to feed for 2 or 3 kids. So that's what we man up. We're taking back our lives. We're addressing the issues now. It's time for us to, you know, do what we need to do to get these fathers back home. Maybe we stop some of this gun violence, you know, because the father's not there, he can't raise his kids. But if you bring a father in, he can discipline his kids. The state can't do it by itself no more.
Now, when we talk about child support, and I think a large number of members of our audience might think in terms of supporting that child for a certain amount of years and et cetera. But what's your view in terms of child support, which is to say that you are paying for your child,
yes, sir,
but at the same time there are some issues that you like to deal with?
Yes, sir. I found out just the other day, I'm advocating child support every day. I just found out the other day I was with my kid's parents, my kid's mother, 24 years. And I just found out the other day I'm $139,000 behind on child support payments. So how that system add up? I was with my kids every day of their life, all 3 of them. But I'm behind, I take care of my kids. You know, it's how the system is trying to portray us as not doing, but because we're not paying the system. But we keep paying the system, we can't we can't feed the child. We gotta have something for a man to live.
And so are you still with your wife?
No, sir.
But you're still paying for to support your children
every day.
And you feel that they're taking more money out of whatever salary you have,
yes, sir,
and some of that money does not go to the child.
None of the money go back.
But the money, for the most part, goes to the state.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you think about that, Mr. Watkins?
I mean, it is true. As you just asked me, without going towards the child, it's true. I've had the mother me call me and ask me, well, when is your job going to send the money? I said, what do you mean? It's coming out of my check. Mm-hmm. Well, they send it when they want to send it. And it causes conflict within the household. Mm-hmm. I've lost a house. I lost my family. I've lost cars. I've lost jobs and everything. I've lost my freedom over child support. And, you know, it took a real big toll on me mentally and emotionally because, you know, I desire to be home with my kids. My kids are my everything. And to take me out of my home because I fell behind on a bill, you know, that's like, come on, man, you're not just taking me out of home.
What do you mean when you say to take you out of your home? How does that?
When you take a person out of home, when you take a person's job from them, what is that man gonna do? He's gonna wind up trying to figure out a way to go out here and get some money. Right. Because if you love your kids, you're gonna revert to anything in the means necessary to get money to feed your kids or do what you can do. So yes, I've made some choices in life to where I started going towards the street life. Because of why? Because every time I turned around, I was getting harassed. I was getting harassed by the judges to the point to where they was like, well, this is the state law. So is it state law? Then okay, if I can't make this money, you taking all the money, my kids not getting paid, my lights getting cut off, this is happening. Well, I got to hear them go out here and find another way to get this money because not only am I hearing from you all, but I'm also hearing it from her. You know, and when all that comes into play, it pushes a man outside that household to where he's looking to where, like, man, what am I gonna do? So when we sit up here, we look at these other young men out here on these streets and they trying to do different things. You know, when I talk, when the first thing come out of their mouth, man, I gotta feed my kids, man. And you know, it's like that's where that destruction come in. So me and PHawkins, we have been through it and we have fought through many things to try to maintain a fatherly relationship with our kids and everything, which we still do. Just because they took us out the home don't mean we still ain't in our kids' lives. But we still try to you know, educate the younger men, the future and everything to, hey, we're gonna try to get some help because I know where you've been, I know where you're going and stuff.
So, Phil, when you think in terms of child support in Tennessee, what would you consider to be the most destructive thing that the state of Tennessee is doing in order to either help you or prevent you from really supporting your children?
I mean, the first thing they're doing, they need to let the dads or father be a father. The state cannot raise or come in a household and raise kids. And that's what they're doing. They make sure the father's not there by leading the mother wrong. Make sure the father not there. So there you go. You got a son and daughter just being raised by the system. And we already know that's going to lead to a broken cycle. So we out here now trying to bring that cycle to fix the broken cycle. You know, to get this right, bring the fathers back in the home, take care of the kids, take care of their families. It's just a man-up process. You know, we need help with it.
And so if the state is paying that household child support, the father cannot be in the household. Is that what we're saying?
That's right.
And so which means that I think, as you were indicating, Mr. Watkins, that sort of pushes you out into the street.
Yeah,
you see, in order for her to receive.
A man is going to try to figure out some way to not only that you push that man outside that household, but he also got to go find a house to where he got to stay now.
Right.
So that's another bill. That's another situation where he got to, like, okay, he got to go and try to wind up in a shelter. You're going to wind up in a hotel. You're going to wind up in a friend's house. You bouncing around in different places, trying to live and trying to provide and stuff. It takes away your self-esteem.
Downhill spiral.
Yeah, and that's what we call destruction. So it's when you know, it does a lot of good, but then also it does a lot of harm too. Because when you take that man out of that household, then you got these young boys running around here, and then you telling me I can't discipline my child. Then you go to school, you get in trouble, you get secret indictments out on you because of you discipline your child because your child stayed there. Well, the man in the household doing something wrong, so let's get him out of here. No, not every man is doing something destructive to tear his child down.
So there is, over the last 22 seconds we have in this segment, there is no father in a household where there is child support.
That's right.
Right.
And the ones there, the state still want their money too.
Yeah.
That's a no-win battle.
And that creates a real problem. And of course, what we'll do, we'll take this second commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Whatever you want to say in reference to it, because I mean, a lot of folks don't seem to understand this. I mean, when we say that he has to pay child support, we only think in terms of whatever child support that comes in. But the state takes that money. Yeah. If you got a job, the state takes your money before you get your money.
Yeah, child support is not just taking money from you. Child support is being in that child's life.
Thank you, and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Mr. Hawkins and Mr. Watkins in reference to child support in the state of Tennessee. And let's see, Phil, if we can pick up with you this morning, and to have you to talk to our audience this morning about some of the issues that you have to face if you have to pay child support, and how long that child support can be, and et cetera. And then you say as much as you wish to about it over the next 10 minutes. And then Mr. Watkins will end us for the day with some of his observations in reference to it. Let's do it from that perspective.
Right now, child support, currently you got to pay child support as long as that child is attending high school or they go to college, you still got to pay child support. And which in terms of that, it hurts the father, it hurts the whole family. We're trying to keep families together. We keep unity in the family, the mom and dad not arguing, everybody having, getting along. The kids can be more productive going to school. They're not listening to argument all night. The dad and mom having, everything's going all right. But with this child support, how it is now, it's just too much chaos in the home. The father not making the money he's supposed to make. He better can take care of himself. Then the state taking half his check, so he coming home with a half a check to take care of his family of 3 and 4. So that leads them to a broken cycle of despair. I mean, alcoholism, drug addiction, all that, comes in a part of it, because the man get to the man, what can I do? I'm just out here, And we're just trying to change a lot of that. We got a program now. We're trying to do it 90 days. Get each father 90 days. No child support. 90 days to get themselves together. Get a job, get yourself together, stand up. And then the child support can start taking something out, work out a little modification program with the father. What you can still get a mother $100 a month. But that's a whole lot better than taking a man half a man check. It's giving a man some kind of hope that he can be productive, he can go home, he can buy his kids a decent pair of shoes, diapers or whatnot. But right now, how they got it, we just losing battle. We have to reform this.
And so, Mr. Watkins, there are a large number of men, not only African-American men, but specifically we're concerned about African-American men today in reference to what we're talking about here. But there are a large number of African-American men that get caught up in this system of child support. If they get a job, you're telling us, then whatever that pay is, the state intervenes and takes part of that money before he can get the. Is that what we're saying here?
Yes.
Talk about that.
When a man goes to court, I've been in court situations where a judge actually told me, I'm living in the household with my kids, the mother and everything, and asked me if I pay child support, and I said, yeah. I'm thinking they're going to say, okay, you in the household, so we're going to stop it. He asked the mother, was he helping? He told me, yeah. Turn around, the judge told me, keep paying. That's just one of the situations. Another situation is when a woman can call, a man can get out of jail. After he done his 81 days, 82 days, he can get out of jail, and they'll give him a review date to go back to court. And in that review date, that woman has the ability to call the judge and say, I want to speed up the process. So if that man doesn't have a job within that time the judge has allowed, well, guess what? He's going off back to jail.
So child support in the real sense has the ability to land folks almost immediately in jail,
Oh, yes, sir.
and then
That's
take
what-
half of the paycheck and
And on top of that, not only that you go to jail, but you also still pay child support.
Yeah,
While you sitting there.
still accumulating.
So it's a law, they say, and there's nothing. It doesn't stop. It just does not stop. Just because you sit up there doing 90 days, 80 days, 6 months, 8 months, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna keep paying. You still gonna keep paying in one way or the other. While you sitting there in jail doing nothing, or you sit out here in the streets doing nothing, they still gonna want that money.
Now the state done done away with the father. What's going on with the kids at home then? You know, the father not here. What's going on with the kids? The son growing up, he watching the neighborhood drug dealer. The daughter growing up watching her brother with the money. She want a boyfriend with the money now. She got a broken cycle. Here she goes, she's in the projects, she's pregnant with a couple of kids. The cycle continues. We have to reform this child support. But like you said, the black man, we're in trouble. We won't have a second generation. How things going now? We got too much going against us as it is. You know, we trying to stand up and man up. We going out here every day. We feeding the homeless. I mean, we buy our own personal money. You know, socks, T-shirts, take to the homeless camps. We feed them hot dogs, hamburgers. You know, we go to the inner city, take over the kids, reading books at schools. We doing all this to show these kids that, you know, they look forward to seeing us. We got a junior Firebird football program coming up out of Pearl High School. With those guys every day, the little fellas, we teaching them along the way, you know, how to man up, how to be young men, you know, by reading skills and math skills. So it is things that men can do out here that we are positive. You know, instead of keep getting a bad rap for all this violence, it's good men out here, and we just want to be known.
You know, I mean, you know, and then another thing about it, the state does also use the child support system. They make it seem like it's benefit the woman, but they also what is also doing is manipulating her to get that man out the house because they'll tell the woman, okay, well, if he's not, well, we're gonna make him pay, or we're gonna send him to jail. And by the time the woman's got fed up with so much stuff, you know, her mind is going in a whirlwind, and she's looking like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? So when the arguments start inside that household, when that fighting starting in the household, then that man is pushed out that household, and if he starts getting on his feet trying to do better, that woman gonna want a piece of it right now. And say, well, he got it, we need to go get it right now. So you got to give a person a chance enough to say, hey, okay, you got to let a man be a man and let him in his household and work it out. Because you keep pushing him outside the household, you just continue destroying that house. And when you do that, then that's when you're going to see a whole lot of jail system filled up. I look at this, you know, I think they building up another jail right now.
Modern day slavery.
Well, look here, is there any effort, and I think that you've already mentioned that there's an effort on your part to deal with the state legislature to pass a law and et cetera. What would such a law be like? And, what would such a law say?
There'll be a 90-day program. In this 90 days, a man can man up, get a job, get himself together, get housing, get adequate clothes to go get a proper, you know, a job, a better job if need be, where he can reach a child support level or balance out. Okay, within this process, each month he would get a mom in return $100. You know, he's trying to get himself back up, just redeem himself. You know, that's what we got to do. We have to have that 90 days before. They got a bill out now that's saying when you go to the custodial parent and y'all can make an agreement to pay your child support on time for a year, and they'll waive all your back pay. But these men need some immediate. You know, what if they don't have adequate shoes to go to an interview? Give them a chance to get on their feet where they can be productive citizens and then go into it.
A person who might be arrested, Mr. Watkins, we're saying, for not paying child support, that he serves his time, and as soon as he's out of jail, he's been in jail for whatever that time might be, and as soon as he's out of jail, he has to immediately start paying child support. That's right. Is that what we're saying? And that's why you feel that there ought to be some kind of reform within the system.
Help us out. We gotta give us a time frame. You know, 90 days. We can get out, get on our feet, get a nice decent job, get adequate clothing. You know, to be productive. When you're just coming out of jail, you're behind. You know, everybody needs assistance. Sometimes there's a lot of men who didn't choose the right path, but a lot of men who have. You have men in the household that's all working, that's all taking care of their kids, and they still is in the child support system. You know, so it's a no-win situation for us.
So it's a real problem when a mother decides that she's going to have that individual, her husband, to pay child support. That has created a real problem for him. Is that what?
Oh yeah, because you're taking the man's self-esteem away from him. because you know, a man that's living inside a household, taking care of his kid, prides himself off of that. You know, and when you keep talking about money, and then this man go out and work a legal job, and you make him feel like, hey, it's not enough money. You know, you take his self-esteem down to where that'll break a man down to the point where he stopped doing other things. And like I said, destruction could come to where you could be turned to alcoholic, drug abuse, and all that. And it's just a lot. It's a wide variety of things that could happen. And that's why we're like, okay, let's see if we can get together and talk to the mayors, the governors, legislators, and stuff to see how we can get the man and the woman back to working together as one to bring it back to the household and build these households up and build these kids back up to where it's supposed to be.
And so over the last 10 seconds we have here, so that's the objective of your organization, to sort of bring the state legislature and others together to deal with this as an issue. And of course, let me thank the two of you for coming by, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week to another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and